tell you, this is probably the most excited I've ever been about a car part. And that's saying something, because I've built quite a few cars now, got a lot of cool parts. This one tops the charts for me. I'm hoping it lives up to expectations. Should be a total game changer. So old Benny Boy was doing some research. He's good at that. And he managed to find this system, which is a whole lot cheaper than the super fancy NASCAR one, because obviously the NASCAR one's meant to be super light and whatever. But it does basically the same thing. And what it does is essentially refrigerate the water that's flowing through your shirt. So instead of using ice to cool the water, it has basically a refrigeration unit that is cooling the water constantly on demand. So instead of having to add water, ice, or anything, it's just got coolant that stays in it. You just turn it on. You just turn it on. No ice, no water, no changing, just turn it on. I think I'm gonna put it back here on the rear deck lid. Now the reason for that is, one, there's a good bit of insulation there under the carpet, which will keep everything cool. Two, we're gonna get good airflow through here and out of these ducts. So I think that's gonna be the best place for it. So I'm gonna quit jibber jabber and let's get the roof off and see where we can mount this thing and start getting it put in. So excited to use it. All right, got the cooler mounted up, nice and secure. So what we need to do is the main wiring, which plugs in here. So we're gonna have to drill a hole, pop it down through here. Over to the battery, we need to run a relay. So we need to run a wire up from our main wiring up there to basically just turn it on when the ignition's turned on. Just that way there's no power going to it when the car is off. And then we have our remote control, which I'm glad I got this. So I got this originally because I didn't realize that it had buttons on it, and that's how you control it, which if I mounted it there, I could easily reach those. And I almost tried to cancel that part of the order, but I was like, whatever. It'll be nice to have it closer to the driver, but now that I mounted it back there, works out way better. So the remote control will allow us to turn it on, off, eco, and our temperature. And look at this. It'll fit perfect in this little slot, which is so satisfying because there's nothing there. It's always been blank. Put that there, run this back to the cooler, and that's pretty much it besides the hoses. Oh, it's perfect. I can easily reach it. Ta-da! Oh, it's so sick. Well, it's all wired now, but waiting on the connector for the shirt. So the shirt doesn't come with a connector, which you need, which I find kind of silly, you know, whatever. But the kit I ordered did come with the connector, but since it ended up getting drop shipped, I didn't get it. It didn't end up getting shipped. So I'm missing that and breakaway coupling. So I overnighted it. I overnighted a connector so that I will have it tomorrow so I can test this thing out. I've been so excited to put this in and try it out. I can't wait any longer. So anyway, it'll be here tomorrow. But that's pretty much a wrap for now. Excitement. All right, we finally got our connector in. All right, I got our hoses cut to length. We can always shorten them later if we find this is too long. We're gonna put, it comes with this Chinese finger trap stuff, like typical wire loom. Alright, short cord done. Shirt's done. So now all we need to do is fill the system with coolant, bleed it, hook the shirt up, cycle it. I've pre-mixed our coolant solution so it uses a coolant and then distilled water. So it's 2 parts coolant to 1 part distilled water. Oh, we got it. All right, now we're gonna put it back in the car, turn it on, let it prime and cool down, then we'll hook the shirt up, fill the system up the rest of the way, see if it works. Should get power. I assume that's... Alright, it's priming. You can see the temperature. We got it set down at like 35 degrees and the temperature is dropping. It was like whatever ambient is, 90 something when it started. So we're just gonna let it cool down. I don't think we have to let it go completely all the way. Then we're gonna plug our shirt in. It'll fill that up. We'll have to refill the reservoir, and then we're done. And then everything stays primed and it's like dry disconnectable. 53 degrees. It's still cooling down. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, it feels so good. It's going colder. And we can just unplug it. All right, well, everything works. I let it get down to 52, and it was still cooling down. So I'm pretty sure it'd go even lower than that. And it's hot today. Let me look at the temperature. It's got to be about 90. Let's see, 91 degrees. Granted, we're in the shade, but still, it's funny. So there's an eco mode, where it uses less power. Maybe you needed it or it wasn't that hot, whatever. Anyway, there's an eco mode you can turn on. So it got down to about 70 degrees. And then just wasn't cooling down anymore. And I was like, man, I really hope this isn't it. That would suck. Like, because I felt it. I'm like, it's cool, but it's not, it's noticeable. It's not that crazy. But anyway, it was in eco mode. As soon as I turned it into like the max power mode, it just plummeted. And it's cool because this is their newest one. The old ones didn't have this. To pre-cool it, you'd have to either like hook up a loop yourself or, hook up everything. But this one, if it senses where it gets to the end and can't go anymore, it starts looping internally the coolant. So it's still cooling the coolant. So you can, let's say 5-10 minutes before the session, boom, turn it on, or even while the car's warming up, have it cooling down. So by the time you get in and hook up, the water's already chilled down to 40-45 degrees. So I'm pretty excited to use it. Obviously just sitting here in the shade, it's not a super practical use of it. But yeah, no, I mean, dude, I'm happy with it. I can't wait to use it during a long session because, it's going to have more time to just sit there and cool.